The agenda of today's meeting is what SWIFTtrip is, where we are, how you are going to benefit out of this, and how the subscribers are going to benefit out of this. It's amazing, it's incredible, and going straight into this, the first screen you saw showed you an aircraft, a car, and some luggages, giving you the understanding that SWIFTtrip has to do with mobility. And if you check out industries out there dealing with, or companies dealing with these transportation industries, they are massive. They are doing well. They are making good profits. Why? No one company can satisfy the need of people who need to move around per day. It's a business that can't be monopolized. So all you need to do is to be strategic to ensure you have more customers that when they need a ride, they come to you. And if we look at companies who are doing the transportation business, even, let me use the word, carelessly, or without being organized, they are making money. Or an individual doing it, maybe he wakes up in the morning, steps out, that person comes back with good profits. Let's use the situation of the country today in Nigeria. Fuel increasing without just increasing. You go to you go to the fuel station today, the price which you bought today, when you go tomorrow, it has changed. If you like, go pack, fill your home with gallons of fuel. When you finish it, come back, it has changed. Is it affecting the way people are moving around? You that is listening to me now, you wanted to go to the office today, despite the fear. You paid for the transport. Did the drivers maintain the price of the past? No, they increased it based on fear. Who paid? Passengers paid. If you want to travel now with maybe God is good, are they going to close down their company saying it's too expensive? No. Can you afford it? You will be charged. Who's going to pay? The customers. So the fuel is not going to affect the transportation companies. People will pay. That's to show you how important this thing is. And this makes me to want to make mention of something today which I have never made mention of. And maybe another day I won't mention it. I've always told us that by the time SWIFTtrip is done, we will see things that were never told. Have I ever made mention of the kind of cars that we're really going to use in SWIFTtrip based on fuel? I've never. Do we know biogas? Let's not even talk about maybe electric vehicles now. Let's talk about biogas. Do you know what biogas is? Places like China, do you think they use fuel? Fuel is, in most developed countries, it is things of the past. They don't make use of it. Economy is booming, flourishing. Nobody's talking about fuel. Our government, they know about biogas very well. They've gone to other countries and the vehicles there making use of biogas. But they will come back and keep the people like that. So that everybody's attention will be what? Fuel. And then they can do whatever they wish to do to the people at any time. And no alternative. Biogas is a very efficient alternative to fuel. It is a gas that you don't produce with crude. You produce it with the things you dump in the kitchen, or when you finish eating, when you go to toilet. What do you dump there? Waste, right? They just term it waste. It's not waste though. That thing in your sock away, it is fuel. I will stop there. Go make research about biogas. You can power your home with your sock away. You can drive your car efficiently with your sock away. And when it's full, you call trailers, or is it these sock tankers? You call them to come suck out energy from your home, and you say it's a waste. When SWIFTtrip launched, don't miss it.
Yes, it's online.
Like I said in the meeting the other time,
We are live.
all we need is what? Reputation.
Share.
How do you gain reputation? You don't jump into it.
I just posted it now.
You only gain it with consistency. That's why when they tell you be consistent in what you're doing. It's not as if that thing right from the beginning, it was not worthwhile. It's not as if in the end, when it all explodes, it is now more important or now worthwhile, the more valuable. No. Right from the day one, it was as valuable until the day it exploded. And when SWIFTtrip said, when the CEO of SWIFTtrip said it will happen in a blink, it was of the same value right from the onset. But all we needed was what? Time to gain reputation. The day we silent our mouth, the day we stop talking, reputation is going down. The more we stay consistent in letting the world know about what the reputation is being gained. No matter what you come up to say you want to accomplish, you can't, no matter how valuable. They'll be watching you like this. One eye, one eye, one eye. Until you have proven value. That what you are saying is no longer needed, but your action is speaking louder than your words. So now what do we have? Mouth talk. Talking. We can do it. Today you just heard that SWIFTtrip cars will be running on biogas. Mouth talk. By the time it's done, what might take us years to accomplish, when we want to accomplish something mightier, something bigger, something heavier, matter of days. Reputation built. In this process of developing reputation, that's why people ask questions. The CEO say wants to build an airport. Has he done airport business before? Which school did he go? As if they were part of those who paid my school fees. Where has he ever worked before that he has the knowledge of how to operate aviation? Why? No reputation. No evidence of anything done in the past. Then you would expect it to just happen like that. You in the meeting hearing it for the first time. In your heart, before you even join the meeting, you are thinking, hope this one will not be like the rest that has scammed me before. Shareholders of SWIFTtrip, wait for it. Be consistent. Be persistent. everything we have said will be done. Just a matter of what? Time. Don't miss SWIFTtrip. See the picture I just showed to you on the whole slide. Aviation, the e-taxi. All of this will come to fruition soon. What is SWIFTtrip? SWIFTtrip is a decentralized mobility and commerce service providing business. We're building the transportation business, the logistic business on the blockchain. So let's talk about the core services: aviation, e-taxi, e-commerce, logistics on the blockchain. So we had to show pictures of companies already into it. Epis is there, Arik is there, many other companies are there. We are not the first. Then the question is, why are people so scared of being part of it for now? Like I said earlier, reputation. Go check all of these companies. Is it Arik? Is it Epis? Before they got there was a story written down. There was a story. Go buy Epic stock and you will think you will compare yourself with them that identified with Epis when it was mouth talk. We told a man about SWIFTtrip. He said, no, I don't like all those things. The one I prefer is like MTN. Tell me to come and buy MTN shares. That's what I need. You need. We have started a Did you hear about Uber? Many heard about it. Grace found so many at Uber. Grace found so many at Zoom. They undermined it. They joked with it. Don't miss SWIFTtrip. We have the Uber, the boats on the e-taxi. SWIFTtrip is coming to transform the e-taxi industry. We're coming. And I will show you why we stand out. The e-commerce, we're coming. The logistics business, we're on our way. Those are the 4 services of SWIFTtrip. So someone's asking, has it gone live? You've already heard me talking about let us write the story. It's at the development/vision phase. Let's come build. And then we say, when will SWIFTtrip go live? Very good question. At the sales of 3% shares to the shareholders of SWIFTtrip, please do not go out there and start pampering the launch of SWIFTtrip. Somebody asks you and you tell the person that it's a milestone and the person is talking this and that. Let that person walk away. There are people who joined me in 2021 when we needed this money the most. No office, no website, and they came with their resources to position us where we are today. One of them came and started saying, this whole thing is taking too long. It's taking too long. How will you say until 3% sold? Why not go and launch? Because he brought what? 1.8 million to buy some certain standard of SWIFTtrip as a then. And maybe people do not realize that when I say my word is my bond, I don't need lawyer, I don't need any court to tell me or to give me order of what to do that is right to be done. I don't need anybody to force me to do what I have promised to the 2.4 million shareholders of SWIFTtrip. We wrote an MOU there saying if we delay in this process, of which we will, and in any point you are tired, you can ask for a withdrawal. But now in SWIFTtrip, that everything has taken shape, then we were coming from a very formless, unstructured, nothing to that can attract you to what we are doing. Nothing. Every other company that is talking of this kind of thing will have a beautiful office that when you go, you will like it and say, okay, these people are going somewhere. In 2021, nothing. We just got the vision, write it, and we started running. Where's your office? No office. And a man could agree, and he came, 1.8 million. We wrote it and said, when we have gone far, and maybe you are not interested, you can withdraw and we pay it back to you. The man started talking. Honorable Richard, this thing, please, I don't think, go and launch. I said, sir, no matter who anybody is, you cannot bend the CEO. Follow the white paper. That was what was given. Or are you tired of waiting? You still have the opportunity to execute the MOU sent to you then. He said, yes, I think I'm tired, I cannot follow. That night, I came to the Telegram meeting here and I said, I want to bless someone. Some of us can remember that day. I said a slot which is 32 million naira now, I, the CEO, want to give it to someone for 2 million. That night, it was sold. How much did he buy then? 1.8. How much did I resell it? 2 million, just to dash someone. Because I told him, I said it's 32 million now. If anything makes you say, I want to come back, you are paying 32 million for that same thing you hold in SWIFTtrip. And immediately that was done. I told him, I said, your wife's account, please, we also need it. You cannot put the first one. I said, no. He said, I think, say what I would do, since you paid this one, I would let my wife still be there. No. You cannot tell us that you want the big one. So, okay, if it does not work, you'll be happy that you left. Then you left the small one. So if it works, you now say, I did not miss it totally. Hello. Submit your wife's details. If I don't submit it, we are sending it now. We don't know your wife. It is you that came. You bought 2 units. You and your wife. Everything out. Sold it off. Did we pay him? You know, when something happens, that's when you be like something, you now realize yourself. Became like a man that they poured cool water on his body. Why he was gingering, he thought that maybe it has come to court case. You will take me to the court before I do what I say I will do. I always tell us in this meeting that you will not know me. You will not know the kind of person I am, not until I hand over the SWIFTtrip airport to you. Let's move and accomplish something great. Nobody is here to deceive anybody. I, the CEO, tells you SWIFTtrip will make you a trillionaire in dollars, and I am still the one telling you that this thing, it's a process. If you want Ponzi scheme, there are a lot of Ponzi things out there. If you want it sharp, it is not SWIFTtrip. Here we are building from the ground up, and when we are done building, what financial hardship over with these 2.4 million owners of SWIFTtrip. If you miss it, you won't forget the name. Don't miss it. %, and that tells you 2.4 million node holders are going to consume 3%. So we need 2.4 million subscribers to the launch of SWIFTtrip. And how will that happen? The note holders are given 3% out of the 5% sold. So we are calculating the launch of SWIFTtrip by the 3% share volume and the note holders level. One person gets what? 0.05125%. So if you divide that volume by 3, or 3 divided by that volume, it gives you 2.4 million units. One person to one unit. Let us put our hands on deck. This thing, it is you and I that will make it happen. You come into SWIFTtrip and you say, I will just register and keep it because of the things I have gone through in the past. I have gone through things in the past. Every shareholder in SWIFTtrip who are campaigning, we all have gone through things in the past. And now we say we don't need subscribers anymore. We need pioneers. A person who will come with the resolution. It is better you are telling people and they are insulting you, say I will not join, and we launch, you didn't register one person. Congratulations, we are part of the process. Not the man that has decided, resolved in his heart to say I will join, I will not tell him. We don't need that kind of people. So if anybody out there tells you such, tell the person, we don't need that kind of mindset. Leave it, keep the money in your account. Keep the money. Only the inflation happening, we eat it up, and when it's gone, that person will come back to say, oh, had I know. Okay, you told me when it was 56,000. How much today? It is over 100,000 naira. The same thing now, people are complaining. People will buy it 200 million naira at the launch of this thing we're talking about. 200 million naira. Write it down. Put it on your wall. When it happens, you will say, the CEO said this when it was not looking like it at all. That's where you will really understand that whatever is driving a visionary that makes him speak like a madman, he's seen something that others can't see. Don't miss it. What makes us stand out? We call it a PYC. Have you heard of that before? Pay your customers. Every other thing happening out there is called KYC. They know us and they are even debiting from us that they know. So we help. It is time to pay your customers. Pay them. Why? They are the one making that business to flourish. Put them on payroll. They even want to put more reason why they call it task or VAT, value added task, and they task you the more for knowing you. Who told you that the company is not making profit? SWIFTtrip pays you from its profits it's making. Whether we put the VAT, that is not the reason why the customers will not be put on payroll. After SWIFTtrip is done, you will then see how companies will be innovating on what we call the PYC. We are just taking four services out of the world's services. There are services out there. And as years go by, companies are innovating on this thing we talk about, PYC, putting customers on payroll. It will come to the point that companies who are doing so well today, and they think it was based on their name, based on whatever that is making the business to flourish, they will fizzle out. They will think it because of the top and the quality service they are giving to the people. There are companies that will be offering even far more quality services than that, and yet put its customers on its payroll. You think a customer will test that and go back to the one that's not paying him or her? Customers are the owners of businesses today. So you can't build a business and you sideline them. If they sideline you, you will understand that you were just the servant and not the owner of the business. SWIFTtrip is coming to rebrand and restructure how businesses are done worldwide. Study the PYC structure of SWIFTtrip and you're going to see more light in it. Use the e-tax, it's more understandable. You see the distribution of the percentage that came from the passenger or the customer who is the profit generator. So no more will the company just be the profit consumer. Now the company attaches the customers also on the consuming part of the profit. My God, did somebody hear that? The company should no more be the what? Profit consumer. And why the customers are just the service consumer. As they consume the service, let them also consume part of the profit. So in the earlier days of SWIFTtrip, people will say, Honorable Richard, please stop talking like this, stop talking, so that people out there that are trillionaires, even in dollars, will not go and copy this thing and establish it before you. I told them, anybody establish anything and you say because somebody has established it, I cannot accomplish it anymore, you don't have a vision. Don't deceive yourself or deceive anybody. This was not a vision. Nobody can copy a vision. And they say the visionaire could no longer. Oh my God. Go check it out. There is no company performing the PYC. And we are telling every company out there, even before we come, start performing the PYC. Because if you don't, you will fizzle out. We're giving you a secret to the future. If anyone come out tomorrow and say we are performing the PYC, we, SWIFTtrip, we are the first worldwide to document it, to speak it, to let them know that it's possible to pay the customers. So if you go check that company that says we are doing the PYC, did they start since 2021? Everything we've been saying is online. This meeting is recorded. It will be online. People will hear it. People will document. People will do things. So if it was not since 2021 they started, SWIFTtrip is the first to execute what we call the PYC, to teach the world the concept called the PYC worldwide. So if you know of any company that started it in 2020, let us know. The CEO will give you 100,000 naira and he will stop talking about it that we are the first. Don't miss SWIFTtrip. What's coming is great. It's massive, beyond what words can describe. Study these slides, study them very well. They are self-explanatory. We have the same structure on the aviation, e-commerce, logistics, customers on payroll. Not just the customers, including customers that recommended the customer and the service provider to do business with us. Don't miss it. Who is behind this SWIFTtrip? Honorable Richard Nadi, the founder and the CEO of SWIFTtrip, the brain behind SWIFTtrip. Thank you so much, able shareholders, hub admins of SWIFTtrip, for backing me up. Without you, maybe my case would have been worse than now from where I started in 2021. Worstest. And that would have been my case. So if you like me today and you love anything about SWIFTtrip, it is the backing of those who came together now that it is just mouth talk. God bless you. And I do not take you for granted at all. I love you all. Thank you for all you do for SWIFTtrip. Subscription level. Level 1 to level 7 is addressed or are addressed as stakeholders of SWIFTtrip. Level 8 are addressed as the node holders of SWIFTtrip. We have the deluxe, which is 128 million, the base 2 million naira. And please study the ownership level as you can see on the screen. that the deluxe gives you an ownership on every transaction globally, worldwide, of 0.05%. Worldwide, wherever the trip is used. Let's use the e-taxi now. Let's base or dwell on the e-taxi. A trip is done in China. A trip is done in India. A trip is done in Cameroon, Congo, Togo, Nigeria. You earn 0.05% on that transaction. You are a note holder. You purchase SWIFTtrip 100,000 naira, $100, which is the minimum investment. 0.50125% is your ownership. Stay and pay very close attention to what I want to show to you, because at the end of this, as you pay close attention, you will discover that there is a promo price to this. So instead of coming for 100,000 naira, there's a promo price given to you today. And at the end of the meeting, I'm going to unveil that to you. The deluxe, the standard, basic one, 32 million. This was the story of that man I just shared with you. A man came to the meeting one day and said, I've been hearing this thing since 2021. So you are still here talking. You've not launched business. So if I had registered in 2021 as an owner of SWIFTtrip, so what would have happened to my money? At the end, when he finished, I told him, if you had, okay, he went on and said, but well, now I'm a node holder, I'm happy because now I'm quite convinced that it's going to work. If people have stayed since 2021 to today, well, it's cool. I'm just happy to say that I'm not a node holder. When he finished speaking, I told him, well, if you had subscribed in 2021 when you heard it, you would have easily been a stakeholder. Holding enough volume, you have taken a very massive position in SWIFTtrip. That you have been with us since 2021, it is not a waste. You got access to something that people, many, can't access it easily. I told you that man in 2021 bought it 1.8 million. What can you buy it with now? 32 million naira. Was it worthwhile owning it since then? Yes. If that money was in the bank, sir, ma, you would have eaten it up. The only reason why you can say I'm a stakeholder of SWIFTtrip now was that money which you would have eaten since that time. That 1.8 that was paid to this man few months back, has he not eaten it up? You want to tell me that it's still in the bank? If it's still in the bank, has Foy not taken it? You don't want to build, but you want to be wealthy. Doesn't work. The same way people don't want to die, but they want to make heaven. That's why in SWIFTtrip we only talk to persons who are actually business minded, not the ones that love magic. Node holder. So I will take you with the node holders to show you how you earn and how it benefits you. Let's look at this. Now at the vision stage, some people do ask, why do SWIFTtrip need subscribers? Like a man asked, people are talking about subscription. But we heard of Uber and we just became passengers, drivers. Nothing like, say, talking of subscription. That's many people's understanding to businesses out there. They only heard it in the glory, and suddenly they think that is, or that's just how it is. I don't get it. You just think that's how it is? They just arrived like that? Before you conclude, go read their story. There's a story behind every glory. Even Jesus, who rose into glory, he had a story. And the Bible says, because of the glory ahead of him, he endured the pain of the cross. You don't want to endure through the time of the story, but you want to enjoy the glory. It doesn't work that way. People who will come in to identify with SWIFTtrip then as owner of SWIFTtrip, I tell you again, they will buy this thing you are buying now and paying a price of patience. Since they have no price of patience to pay as at then, when I show you the airport, minimum what you bought 100,000 naira, they will buy it 200 million naira minimum. When I say minimum, I mean minimum. So don't be surprised that it is sold for 500 million as at then. Then we'll be coming to, we know you have the billions, not tens of billions. You have it in its hundreds. Then we're interested in talking to you. So that 500 million naira is not a challenge for you to pull out. And I believe you know what I'm talking about. That's where you will see people asking, can I have, it's 500 million, can I have 10 units? Based on what you and I have built, the wealthy and powerful, they will crave for it. So today I'm just looking for people who will give me benefit of doubt. I'm not looking for anybody's trust. Don't bother to trust me. Just give me benefit of doubt. I'm okay with that. Still, that means you are still in doubt if I can do it. Tell me I'm doubting you, but let me just put the money. I'm okay with it. I don't need you to tell me that I'm fully confident that you can do it. Why? I've never done anything for you before. No evidence of what I'm talking about. So be in doubt, but give me the benefit to prove that doubt to be wrong. That's all we need here. We need subscribers for the development of SWIFTtrip Nigerian Airways, the setting up of SWIFTtrip administrative offices, and then the launch of SWIFTtrip business cards and apps in Nigeria and in the UK before we scale global. So how will this benefit you? Consider a person who performed the trip. SWIFTtrip has launched. We've got the 2.4 million shareholders we need. And this man paid how much? $4. If you are a deluxe owner, how much will you earn out of it? How much are you going to earn out of $4? 0.002 cents. If that person was in Nigeria and he performed the trip, if you are a deluxe owner anywhere you are in the world, you earn 1 naira. Remember, we are not earning in actual currency of any country. We are earning on the blockchain. A smart contract. Swift coin is what we call it. But Swift coin is coming with a future that it displays in the fiat currency that you choose to see with. If you're in Nigeria, you love to see it in naira, it displays naira to you. Whatever you earn anywhere in the world, everybody's transacting with Swift coin. But you see it in your fiat currency. You can withdraw to your local bank, you can withdraw to your crypto bank. Has that ever happened anywhere in the world? You miss SWIFTtrip, you won't forget the name. You are a node holder. Let's multiply the node volume with $4. How much will you earn from that ride? 0.705 cents. Imagine how minute. 0.40 is 25 kobo if we calculate by 2,000 naira. Let me show you how cents can become millions, billions, trillions of dollars as years go by. Study this per day analysis. This chart is on Telegram. This slide is on Telegram. Download it from our Telegram channel and you have access to it. Study the slide. It's very easy. Per day, per month analysis. Let's go to 5 years from now. How this would have benefited us. Ambassador Jerry, please, you would get ready for the affiliate marketing part. I really love the way you dissect that part to us. Thank you so much for being here with us today at the headquarters. That's the hub admin of SWIFTtrip in Rivers State. Thank you so much, sir. So 5 years from now, SWIFT has performed thousands and trillions in volume. Well, let's not go into trillions now. Thousands in its millions. Okay, yeah, thousands of trillions, rather. Millions of trillions as years go by. A time is coming, we're talking about trillions and trillions and trillions in its trillions. So what I just want to show to you now is tens of trillions, just minute. And I'm just doing 50% of tens of trillions. So we have 50 trillion trips. A man asked me one day, are you not overanalyzing? How can you talk about 50 trillion trips in 5 years? And I asked him, well, do you think a day will come we'll perform 50 trillion trips? He was looking first, and I wanted to give him more insight. I said, the day we launch business, remember we are 2.4 million owners of this business who are customers. People, when we launch business, they are not going to leave their own transportation business and go to make use of other transportation service. Why? They are not earning from those, they are earning from theirs. So is it possible that we perform one trip after 1 week of launch? He said, CEO, that's over undermining what we're doing now. We've performed more than that. I said, very good. So do you agree that time is coming we'll perform 50 trillion trips? He said, yes, of course, as years go by. I said, good. I don't care to know the number of years that your mind can hold. Your mind can hold 50 years. It can hold 100 years. That's your mind. If you follow me as CEO, 3 years, we're done with this. Don't ask too much. Follow. And when you follow foolishly. Pretend, say you know get sense. And later, the world will come to ask you, how did you know? How did you perceive? How did you get it that's going to happen? Why people out there will be asking, how which I know? If to say I know. Oh, had I known. Whatever English they want to use to qualify that. It can never restart the opportunity so that you can know. That's why we say, now that you know, pretend like say you don't know what you they do. Just follow. There is nothing I would say in this meeting that would erase the memory of loss, frauds, things that you have trusted and it didn't work, crashed hopes. What can I say that will erase that kind of memory from you? Just tell me, what English will I speak? What anointing oil will be poured on someone's head to erase it? That's why we say, follow foolishly. Forget the past. Don't compare here. Don't contrast. Just move. Let's enter into the future of greatness together. $50 trillion trips times 1 naira. What's that? That's 50 trillion naira. 0.202 cents times 50 trillion trips. That's $100 billion. Is that the end? It keeps getting better. As years go by, limitless volume of transaction is limitless dollars. So when I tell you SWIFTtrip makes you a trillionaire in dollars, it is just the beginning of what is to come. So many people think that's the end ever since. You should understand, when you hear that, it is the beginning of what is to come. Check what we have in the node slots. 0.4025 times 50 trillion trips. That gives you how much? 1.25 billion. Ambassador Jerry, are you ready? $2.5 million. My God. So I've just shown to you how the profit in the future $100 given you today, I mean, in 5 years, yielding a profit 1.25 billion with a share volume of 0.50125%. Don't miss this kind of future. SWIFTtrip will make you a trillionaire in dollars. So while we're waiting for the launch, what are you going to be doing? We say inculcate the passion to help people. As you're doing that, you're helping SWIFTtrip, you're becoming a better version of you. People are telling you, no, get out. You are moving. Something is changing inside of you. And as you do that, you will enjoy the same result with us, which is more money. And that's what Ambassador Jerry is here to show us today. Thank you so much for all you do today for us, sir. We appreciate you. And as you take us through with the affiliate marketing, thank you and God bless.
All right, thank you very much, my able CEO. Thank you for a day like this. You've heard it from what people call in the popular palace, the horse's mouth. This time we have an elephant speaking to us with the voice and the tenacity of a lion.
Thank you, sir.
When one speaks with such boldness, you should know that he's not speaking from the norms, because like Easton would always say it, that when you do the same thing over and over again and yet you expect a different result, that's madness. We've got people in this industry that believes that they are the cream de la cream. That when you have a business and you introduce them to a business, say, let's strike it. I have a community. Give me this percentage, I will bring my community. That's Ponzi mindset. No genuine business will tell you, I will give you this percentage for giving me this community. How many persons have seen it by giving percentage because they want to bring community? They are out there selling their shares now. Others are following. How many persons does Facebook give percentage because they want to bring community? They tell you the way it is. If you love it, and if you love the change you're seeing in others, you do the right thing. And so, for those of our friends who are thinking, if he doesn't give me a slot, wait for Ponzi to give you slot. We don't give slot here. Giving you slot means that we're dashing you people's money. We're not out to dash people's money.
I really love what you're saying about that, sir, because I think so many people have also told me that. I didn't know they were also sharing that with you. They'll say, give me a unit of SWIFTtrip, register me, and I'm going to bring my community in. And I think our answers have always been the same.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
I brought a lady here during our February event, and she was like, Jerry, just register me, tell him, and then I will bring my community. I said, you know me very well. The same community you have, others have it. And if you don't come, there are those that will fish on your community. And before you know it, you become their followers later, whether you like it or not, because that's the system. What we're having is a system thing, all right? And of course, we're changing the dynamics. And this is the only company that, even before launch of business, has created a platform for you to be making money. So you're not waiting endlessly, like some people say, the wait is so long. That time that you're thinking is long, use it to make amends. Correct some infractions in your life. All right? The talk today about Nigeria now is that it's how difficult things are. I know very soon we'll be talking about how this person was, who sacked him or he resigned. At the end of spending and wasting your precious time, ask yourself how much will be credited into your account. If anything you talk does not translate into Naira and Kobo, then it's a wasted time. Channel that time into what we're doing here. And that's why I'm here today. When I leave my house, you should know that I have something very meaningful to do out there.
Yes, sir.
With the cost of fear now, most people have parked their cars, but we're not parking our house because we know that after now, the money will roll in. So SWIFTtrip is saying, you have a community. There's nobody that doesn't have a community. Even the mad people, they have their own community.
I hear you, sir.
So the person who always pride himself as I have a community, were you born with that community? And then you that always look up to somebody, if he doesn't join, I will not join. For how long would you stop being a follow? Nobody has made it by going follow. You must break from that follow and make a mark. And that is what we're doing here. There is this deliberate, I call it deliberate advertisement bonus crafted into SWIFTtrip, so that if you're saying things are hard and you know how to gossip SWIFTtrip. How? As of today,